I think officially we are turning it over to ET now.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me. Super excited about National Apprenticeship Week. Woohoo! That's what we're all here to celebrate and chat about. I think most of you know I do not have a presentation. My name is Eric Trowbridge. I just go by my initials ET, and I'm the CEO of Array. And we are Wyoming's first private technology and design school in the state of Wyoming. And just a really quick brief, I was born and raised here, so that's why I'm so passionate about Wyoming and so excited about Wyoming's opportunities in moving forward with apprenticeships and getting this technology sector off the ground. I spent about 10 years with Apple in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York City. Moved back about 6 years ago and became one of the founders randomly of Array. And, Array's, we're going to be 5 years old come this April. And we've always offered these traditional, you pay tuition, you come to Array, you learn tech skills, we help you get a job, which we've been really excited and passionate about. And then it was about a year and a half ago that Michael Broad kind of reached out to us about maybe potentially creating a technology, web programming, web developer apprenticeship. And Array is, in a way, kind of like in a good terms, weird. We are very different. We play, things differently, and we kind of break those boundaries. We try to work together, and so in tonight's presentation, I was trying to think about what would I want to talk about. I just spent about an hour last night on Facebook Live and YouTube, really going over all the ins and outs of our computer programmer apprenticeship. And I really thought tonight was really more about a few things about how Array's apprenticeship got started, some thank yous, and then I really want to introduce you to one of our Array apprentices that just began with us in August to kind of tell some stories there. And really, when it came down to it, we worked with Michael Broad. So thank you, Michael, so much for helping guide us through what this apprenticeship was. I was very much a non-promoter of apprenticeships because I was like, I'm trying to figure out my own school, let alone this and that on top of it. But Michael made it easy. She's a wonderful partner, answered questions, made this all work. And we officially became a registered Department of Labor certified program on February 28th, of this year, which of course was like 2 weeks before the whole world went, right? So we were super excited. We had this big party at Array. We were ready to go. We had project partners that wanted to partner with us to create computer science and web application jobs. And then everything went, whoom. And so really, one of the major messages I want to carry out tonight is I want to thank everyone at the Department of Education, Department of Workforce Services, Department of Labor, who, when we had literally just barely got this program off the ground, I didn't know what to do. And we literally thought, we literally started this apprenticeship in this crucible of, world change. And Array's apprenticeship, I promise to you, would not be here today had it not been for the help of the amazing individuals that make up this state. So I definitely want to put out that an incredible thank you for allowing us to continue the Array apprenticeship while we figure it out through the pandemic. The reason why I love these apprenticeships so much, so we offer a year-long apprenticeship. Again, go to the YouTube video. You can look us up on Facebook, learn all about the ins and outs of the Array apprenticeship. But we believe that apprenticeships are the future. The entire world, in a way, especially in education and workforce development, it's been reset. And one of the kind of little mottos that we have at Array is you adapt or you die. And, that's one of the things that we're very, very focused on at Array is we must continuously learn and adapt to what the new world, fortunately and maybe unfortunately, has given us. And I think Wyoming has an incredible opportunity to capitalize on promoting apprenticeships and creating, all these different programs that allow people to either remote work, to remote learn, and also get excited about maybe setting their roots here in Wyoming. Because one of our guiding North Stars at Array, our mission, is how do we make technology and design industries work in rural America? And they're very different than in the big cities. And it's a whole different animal, which I've had to learn the hard way. And we've always wanted to make it, and this seems like an impossible idea, to make technology and design education free for everyone in the state of Wyoming. Come to Wyoming, we'll teach you these skill sets. And that's, we felt, in a very weird way, the apprenticeship has this structure to potentially allow something of that scale to actually happen. What we love about apprenticeships, we've always wanted to break down the barriers of entry. Apprenticeships totally break down barriers to allow people to come and learn and get paid to learn. It also allows for continued building of diversity. We need more, our economy is not diverse. Thus, we don't have a diverse job force. That's why I left Wyoming right after I graduated high school. There weren't enough different opportunities for me to seek out here. So what do we do? We leave. And diversity is important because when you have strong diversity, you create a welcome mat. When people walk into a room and they see every age, every size, every ethnicity, sexual orientation, whatever you want to put in diversity, it's here. And that's a welcome mat to not only Wyomingites, but to the rest of the world. We're very passionate about creating new jobs and new opportunities. We always want to keep learning. As we all know, education in the 21st century specifically, you're not going to be in school from K through 12 college and I'm working the rest of my life. You must continuously learn if you want to be competitive in this new world economy. So we love to keep learning. We love working on cool projects with cool project partners. And we love specifically our relationships. And we love building Wyoming, our communities, and ultimately propping up the state to become a place where there really is a lot of opportunity in this field in computer science, technology, mobile app development. And so again, I want to say thank you. Ray's got this really baby apprenticeship that we're figuring out alongside of all these other things. But I honestly, for those of you who've been involved with Ray and helping us, I can't tell you enough. We would not be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you for giving us this exciting opportunity. And I want to introduce you to one of our apprentices that joined us in August. These are the people that get to impact and become part of an apprenticeship in Wyoming. So I'd like to introduce to you one of our apprentices here at Array in our technology, Shanda Woods. Take it away, Shanda.
Thank you, ET, so much for the empowering intro. That's amazing. I'm not crying. You're crying. It's awesome. I also want to thank everybody else so much for giving us the opportunity to speak this evening. As ET said, my name is Shanda and I'm currently an apprentice at Array. Little about myself, I consider myself a lifetime learner, a leader, and a long-term nomad. I'm originally from Amarillo, Texas, which is very similar to Cheyenne in a lot of ways. I lived in Hawaii for 2 years. I ended up in Brooklyn for over a decade. I don't know how that happened. And I eventually wanted to make my way out west again, and I did. I have an educational background in research with a bachelor's in psychology and behavioral analysis, but I graduated at the height of the last economic recession. So, as you know, no jobs. And at that point, I transitioned full-time into the fitness industry and because it provided a lot of extra opportunity. Working in the wellness industry, I spent over a decade helping people. I helped them move towards their goals. I helped them live healthier lifestyles. And it was incredibly fulfilling, but there were not many paths for advancement aside from being a manager or maybe opening my own thing, which is like 50-50, could succeed, could fail. And it just, the ceiling was rather low for the fitness industry. Over that time, I saw the promised land of tech through the eyes of close friends and loved ones. And I really wanted to be in a fast-paced industry that focuses on continual improvement and growth with many pathways for advancement. There's kind of a rule book, but not really with tech. So that was super exciting. And I decided to take the plunge and learn how to code. I finished a full stack web development curriculum in JavaScript at another well-known remote bootcamp, which shall remain nameless because Array is the best one. I worked there as a team lead as well as a mentor for students. And along with the love for creating and building things and tinkering and being a perpetual student and scientist, I realized I had a bigger passion for leadership, along with helping people build things and helping get those things that they were building to the finish line. At that point, it started to lead me towards this, how do I use all of my skills? How do I use my varied experience? How do I use the things that I've worked all my life to acquire? So I reached out to a few friends and connections in the industry about potential roles or what does this mean? Because all this stuff can be kind of confusing. At that point, a mutual friend that Eric and I share that works at a pretty big place, shall remain nameless for anonymity's sake, she told me about Array School and the really cool stuff that was happening and that they were doing. So of course I looked it up, and she even, I think, mentioned, would you move to Wyoming? And I was like, yes, of course, why not? Sounds like fun, sounds awesome. And she connected me with Eric, and he led me here to this point, where now I'm working as a technical project manager apprentice underneath his expert guidance and tutelage. I've already learned so much in just what was it, August, September, October, 3 months. The start of the 4th month, I've learned so many things. I've gained so many skills that I didn't know I could gain in 3 months. And the opportunity is absolutely priceless. As ET said, there is a weird barrier, especially with technical people or software developers or even project managers. It's like you're either very green or you're senior level, and there's nowhere in between. And if you want to be in between, you have to have something like an apprenticeship to kind of step up, or you're just really, really good at networking or really lucky or something. So I think the apprenticeships offer a really amazing opportunity for a lot of people that might be in my position to take that step from, I just learned a thing, now I need experience. And now I'm going to use this real life experience that I have in order to move forward. And it's also, the beauty of it is like being able to be paid while doing so, because if you go through a boot camp, you're likely spending anywhere 3 to 6 to 9 months of your life not working and relying on the kindness of your friends and family to get you through. So this apprenticeship is amazing, and it's a wonderful opportunity. And I thank every single one of you for making this a possibility.
Oh, thank you, Shanda. So yeah, to kind of wrap up, I think that's one of the things that I love so much about Wyoming and our apprenticeships is bringing people together, growing Wyoming, growing our workforce, growing our education. And if any of you have any additional questions or you want to reach out to me about specifics, my email address is et@arrayschool.com. So it's pretty short and simple. So feel free to email ET. And once again, thank you all very much, and excited to celebrate National Apprenticeship Week with all of you.
Thanks, y'all. And Shanda, I think it's super cool to hear a little bit more about like transitioning from one career to another, especially because I feel like everybody at some point is doing it, especially now, like the way that the workforce works. There's just so much more both opportunity, I feel like, and push to, do some sort of transition at some point in your life, and earlier, it seems like. So I was just wondering, for somebody who's done maybe something completely different, or even an exiting high schooler going into either college or looking for the next step, what would you say your piece of advice would be for just kind of taking that plunge?
I think, to me, is it more painful to stay in a place where you don't want to be, or is it better to just take the leap? And it's something over time that I've learned that it's usually more exciting to take a leap than to stay where you are. And if anyone is transitioning or thinking about, oh no, this is scary, or I might not, what happens on the other side of it? You can't ever think what happens on the other side of it. You have to put one foot forward, and then the other one will follow, and the other one will follow. I feel like any time that you stay in a place where it's more painful to stay, it's probably better to do something else and transition.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And again, if anybody has any questions for ET or Shanda, ET handed out or gave out his information, and we can always get you connected as well.